Well, thank you, Chris and Darren, and thank you everyone for your patience and a huge turnout here, media presence, as we approach, in my opinion, one of the biggest moments in the history of Irish boxing, one of the biggest moments in the history of Irish sport. On Saturday night at the 3 Arena, Katie Taylor challenges Chantelle Cameron for the undisputed super lightweight championship of the world. Katie Taylor, former Olympic champion, former 5-time world amateur champion, 6-time European champion, world champion, undisputed champion, 2-division world champion, will fight in Dublin for the first time as she looks to make history and become a 2-division undisputed world champion. Chantelle Cameron, the reigning 140-pound undisputed champion, will be looking for one of the greatest victories from an English-British fighter in the history of our sport as well, as she looks to create her own legacy as a great among women's and men's boxing worldwide. This is a tremendous fight, and I think we should also pay homage to both fighters for accepting this challenge. It's so refreshing to see world champions, undisputed champions, willing to fight the very, very best. We don't see it enough in boxing. When was the last time you would get a reigning undisputed lightweight world champion that was scheduled to fight a reigning undisputed featherweight world champion, with that fighter pulling out, and within 24 hours, the undisputed super lightweight world champion was in the fight? This is exactly what boxing needs, and this fight will be epic on Saturday night in front of a sold-out 3 Arena, the biggest gate in the history of the 3 Arena on Saturday, live and exclusive on DAZn around the world. And when we talk about the platform, the schedule, a huge moment for DAZN, coming off the back of some incredible events. Ryan Garcia against Gervonta Davis, Canelo Alvarez against John Ryder, the return of Anthony Joshua, of course this weekend, KSI last weekend, going into Lee Wood against Maurizio Lara next weekend. And Alfie, welcome. Another huge moment for DAZN on Saturday night as the schedule just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks Eddie, and thanks everyone for coming out today and joining us in this beautiful location in the heart of Dublin. I just want to say on behalf of myself and everyone at DAZN how proud we are to be involved in such a historic event, and what a fight we have on Saturday. As Eddie said, 2 undisputed champions going head to head in Dublin. Katie going up in weight against Chantelle, a formidable opponent. Lots of saying Katie's toughest test to date, and I think that's fair, and we're in for a cracker on Saturday. Coming off the back, as Eddie said, you know, for us at DAZN, we've had an amazing few weeks. Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, same night Joe Cordina became a 2-time world champion. Then we went to Guadalajara with Canelo Alvarez, John Ryder. Here we are now with Taylor Cameron Wood versus Lara 2 next week. Then we go into another longer period of fights with Matchroom debutants, DAZN debutants, world champion Sonny Edwards, as well as Regis Prograis, then going into Claressa Shields and Edgar Berlanga, all in June alone, just further reaffirming DAZN purely does have the best schedule in boxing. On that note, I just want to thank Matchroom, Eddie, Frank, and all the team for their continued support and putting on these fights. It takes a lot of work, and we're very grateful for them to allow us to continue to provide the most value to our customers as part of their subscription. So all that's left to say is thanks to Katie, to Chantelle and their teams for making this fight happen. I for one can't wait. I wish them the best of luck. I'm sure they're going to put on an amazing show. Thank you to Ireland, thank you to Dublin. It's been too long since there's been an event of this calibre here. Everybody involved and watching should feel very proud. And yeah, all that's left to say is to tune in live on Saturday night exclusively worldwide on DAZN. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfie. And yeah, quite right, tremendous fight. I think to see all this hardware up here, I can't remember a time, I think the first time in the history of the sport, 2 undisputed world champions have faced off against each other, but I cannot remember 10 belts up here for one fight. Of course, the Ring Magazine Championship, the really proof that you are the number one in your respective division, WBC, IBF, WBA, and WBO as well. Belts do matter, legacy does matter, and this is a great example of that. Jamie, we'll start with you. The hard work's been done. You know, we were here in Dublin for the press conference many weeks ago. You're a great fighter. You love the sport through and through. What a night, what a fight we have on Saturday.
Certainly is. Don't think you need me to try and sell it to you, Eddie. It's a phenomenal fight. 2 fighters probably at the peak of the game. willing and ready to fight each other, and basically at the drop of a hat. You know, like you said there wasn't that much negotiation what took place in them few days from the point where Katie put that message out on Instagram. Chantelle accepted it straight away, and that's how it should be. You know, I think a lot of other fighters across the world could take note from the way these two have dealt with the situation. And well, you know, I think talking about two undisputed reigning champions fighting each other, Chantelle's boxed a reigning undisputed champion 2 fights on the trot now. You know, one above and one below. So I don't think that's ever been done as well. So you know, the calibre of fighters they are willing to fight each other with such short negotiation is something to say her out to.
Chantelle's talked about the training camp for this, that she's given everything for this training camp as well. Testament obviously to the opposition that she's facing. You both know the magnitude of this task. You both truly believe you win on Saturday, but given everything in a training camp for this fight.
Of course, it's okay saying, as a fighter, I've been there myself, when you've got sort of obligations to fight or you need to keep yourself busy, you can say as much as you like, you know, I've put in 100% effort, but naturally you have an extra gear when you know you're up against it. And I've seen a difference in Chantelle this camp. She was sort of a couple of 2 or 3 weeks into a camp to box on the 1st of April anyway when this came about, so she was already sort of in training mode. And then all of a sudden, as soon as this fight came around, you seen her go up a gear, or maybe even 2. And you know, people say all the time, this is the best training camp they've had. This truly is the best I've ever seen Chantelle. And if she's ever going to beat Katie Taylor and give herself the best opportunity, she's put herself in that situation.
People talk about this fight catching fire early on as well. Is that the plan? I mean, Chantelle also said that recently you've got her boxing more, but they want you to let her off the leash, or you're going to let her off the leash on Saturday night from the first bell, force the fight, force the pace. Going to be that kind of fight.
I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say that if I sent Chantelle Cameron out to try and outbox Katie Taylor, it'd be crazy tactics. You know, who in the right mind would try and go and outbox someone of Katie's calibre? It's, you have to be a bit smarter than that, and you have to use your best attributes, and Chantelle's got some phenomenal attributes. It's easy saying it, and the hardest part is actually getting her into the positions to take advantage of her strengths against Katie. So that's going to be the battle early on, but I've no doubt in my mind she comes out victorious on Saturday.
And finally, you've been in some great fights yourself, great fights as a trainer as well, but on Saturday night, this historic event, the noise, the undisputed championships on the line, don't get much bigger than this.
It doesn't, and Styles, I said it when we had the press conference last time, this has the potential to be one of the greatest female fights ever. In fact, one of the best fights ever. You know, Katie Taylor's got such a big heart. You know, she's usually too good for the opposition, but when she's been put in positions where she's got to show her guts and determination, she's shown that. So I know what Chantelle's got. We all know what Katie Taylor's got, and that, as a blend, is going to be phenomenal.
Thanks, Jamie. Go to your opposing trainer, Ross. Business as usual for you. Could never get too much emotion out of you because it's just business and hard work, and same again in this camp as well. You know what you're up against. Another tough fight. Katie's done it time and time again. Should be a cracker on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, Chantelle's obviously a tremendous fighter, undefeated versus undefeated, but you know, Katie's as motivated as ever. She's always wanted this fight. I know there's people that didn't think she wanted this fight, but she's wanted it all along. So she's firing on all cylinders and she's ready to go.
Obviously, normally you're in a training camp for a fight in England or the US. This time around, have you had to sort of rein her in a little bit? I know she always gives 110%, but the excitement to perform at home, the history, the noise, everything. I know she's super calm as always, but it's pretty special.
It's great to be here. It's special, and I think it's something that maybe we'll look at afterwards, but up until we get the win, it's just business as usual. It doesn't really matter where we are. It's great to be here, but I've been saying all along, I don't care if we fight in a desert with nobody there. We're coming to get the W.
Is that the sign of Katie Taylor as a competitor? But, you know, the question could be to you, would the atmosphere overawe her? Would it inspire her on Saturday night? But like you said, I mean, the noise is going to be epic on Saturday, and it's history in the making, but for Katie Taylor, you're always going to get everything.
The noise will be epic, but she's been there before. Going back to the 2012 Olympics, we fought Serrano at Madison Square Garden. We couldn't hear the bell ring on several of the rounds. So she's been there before, but when you're in there fighting, you don't hear the noise. You tune it all out, and you just worry about what's in front of you.
And finally, to you, talk of Chantelle being off the leash. Is that what you expect, an aggressive Chantelle Cameron in there on Saturday night?
I'm sure she's going to be aggressive. She's big and she's strong and she's busy, but Kay's she sparred 15 rounds with fresh opponents coming in every few rounds. So if the plan is to wear her out, I think they're going to need to think again. She's seen everything, and she's proven it time and time again. And like I said, she's firing on all cylinders. So I'm sure we'll see the best Chantelle Cameron, but you're also going to see the best Katie Taylor.
Chantelle, what a moment for you. I think you felt this moment would never come. You know, when we had our conversations, we talked about this fight happening at the right time, when you'd, I guess, earned that spot. You've earned it, you've got everything. You know, you've already achieved an incredible dream and legacy yourself by becoming undisputed champion, but it doesn't get any bigger than this. The biggest fight in the sport, the biggest moment in the sport is right in front of you on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to be here. Obviously, it feels like it was yesterday. I was in Abu Dhabi thinking, wow, I'm undisputed champion. It's not going to get bigger than this. I remember saying to Jamie the next day, saying, what's next? Like, what can I achieve now? I've become undisputed. That was my dream. And fighting Katie Taylor now, that's more bigger goal. That's what I always wanted. Never thought it would happen, but for me, this fight is bigger than becoming an undisputed world champion.
It seems like even when you started your career, there was talk, when people started recognising you and you were winning championship fights on Channel 5 back then, that people are already talking about this fight as one for the future. It's obviously been in your mind for a long, long time. You've envisaged it, you've seen it,
Yeah.
and now it finally happens on Saturday.
Yeah, I think anyone in this division or around about this division has always wanted to fight Katie Taylor because she's pound for pound best, and if you're in boxing, you want to challenge the best as well, especially if you're a champion. It's you got to set yourself them sort of goals and try achieve your own greatness. So I've always wanted this fight. Didn't think it would happen, but I'm here now.
One thing that I've been asked this week is, how difficult were the negotiations? You had your number, you didn't play a great game of poker because it was so obvious how badly you wanted this fight. Your team made sure they got a great deal for you, but the ring walk, the name on the poster, all those draining things that we see time and time again in boxing, stuff that really frustrates fight fans, never on the agenda for you. And that seems to be the case, especially amongst female boxing, where you truly are chasing greatness. You have to be rewarded for that, and you have been, but at the same time, it means more than that. This moment, this opportunity, the legacy is everything.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've got so much respect for Katie Taylor as well. So when I seen that Amanda Savannah pulled out, I think Katie deserved the homecoming. What she's done for boxing, women's boxing, I wouldn't be sat where I am if it wasn't for Katie Taylor and Clarissa Shields. So the homecoming, I thought, yeah, just jump in and take Amanda's spot, because I think Katie deserved this homecoming in Dublin. So it was a no-brainer for me.
We saw a great moment with you and Nigel Travis in the arena. Goosebumps just walking around an empty arena.
Yeah.
Have you thought about what that moment will be like when you ring walk? I mean, this is a lovely nation. They're great people. It could be hostile. I mean, they respect their boxing and sport as well. But that moment where you walk out, about to enter the ring to fight Katie Taylor, that moment to cement yourself as one of the true greats of all time.
Yeah, it would definitely be hostile, but there's going to be tunnel vision, focus on the job at hand, and everything else go above my head. I've got one job to do, and that's to win.
Finally, you said about being let off the leash.
Yeah.
10 2-minute rounds to give absolutely everything on Saturday night. You're ready to go through whatever it takes to win this fight.
Well, 100%, yeah.
Thank you, Chantelle. Katie, can't believe we're finally here. I mean, I don't want to tempt it, but we're only 2 days away now from a moment that feels like should have happened years ago. I guess it's even more special that it's never happened before. Calm as always, but pretty special. I mean, the workout yesterday, this is a moment we'll never forget.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible. We're only 2 days away from making my homecoming fight. I think one of the things that I wanted to achieve when I first turned pro 6 years ago was to fight here at home. And this is a nation who love their sport, they love their boxing, and for a very, very small nation, we're very good at it as well. So it's amazing to be bringing big-time boxing back to this nation again, where it belongs. And this isn't any normal fight. This is undisputed champion versus undisputed champion. This is a very, very special fight, one of the biggest fights in boxing, I believe.
You said yesterday something that really stuck with me. You said, we're bringing world championship boxing, we're bringing big-time boxing back to Ireland. A lot of this build-up not through you, but is about bringing Katie Taylor home. That's important to you, isn't it? That all these young Irish fighters get the opportunity, get the platform, and it feels like a real key moment for boxing here in Ireland.
Yeah, I think we're definitely turning a new leaf for Irish boxing. I mean, hopefully this is the first night of many nights here at home in Ireland. And even looking at the public workout the other day, just looking at so many young fighters there, young girls who are watching the public workout. They're looking up to myself and Chantelle and all these other fighters. It's absolutely fantastic. It's great to be in a position where you're actually influencing the next generation of fighters, and they're going to grow up with big dreams, big ambitions as well, which is absolutely amazing.
That must be a great feeling, away from the fierce competitor that you are, to see those kids there yesterday. I see it in amateur clubs all over the country, young girls who have phenomenal talent as well, 11, 12-year-olds I watch sparring in the gym, you know, to have paved the way from you. And I know there's been, you know, people before you, but to really make that difference amongst all your achievements must feel like a tremendous legacy.
It really is. I think that's what legacy is all about, isn't it? You know, making a way for the next generation of fighters, and those generation of fighters are going to do even more than we've ever done, and that's what the legacy is all about, really. And when I was growing up, you know, as a 9 or 10-year-old, having these big dreams, you know, I didn't have the Olympics at the time, and we had so many obstacles, so many boundaries in the way, but here we are making the path so much easier for the next generation of fighters, and it's amazing. You know, just a few hours ago I met up again with Deirdre Goverty, who was my hero growing up. She was the only female fighter I actually knew of at the time, and just the influence that she had on my career. It's amazing that I could be that for some young girl coming up in the sport as well.
When the Serrano fight fell through, I remember we all got on a call, which was one for the autobiography, later on the contents of that. But you did something very strange for you. You went out there and you called the fight out on social media. It's the only time you've ever done it. Is that just what this moment, this homecoming meant for you? May the 20th was locked in. You didn't want to wait. That was the moment. This was the time to make it happen, and nothing was going to stand in your way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've seen the fight slipping away from me. This May 20th, that day was slipping away, and I don't use social media much, but when I do use, I guess it can make a big impact. And I knew that Chantelle wanted this fight as well. It was a very, very easy fight to make. The minute the tweet went out a few days later, the fight was actually made. Yeah, this two undisputed champions facing off together, this is absolutely huge for the sport, and it has all the makings of another epic fight.
Do you think, you know, I know you don't analyse your career too much, but the toughest, one of the toughest, I mean, when you look back to Serrano, of course, Bassoon as well, a lot of people saying, Chantelle, you know, good size, good engine, punches hard. This may be a tougher fight than Amanda Serrano. Most people acknowledge that as well, but to come home in the homecoming, was it important to bring that kind of fight? You know, Ariel Harani was saying yesterday, you could have boxed anyone, but to bring this fight, this moment was key to you, and that's the kind of nights you want.
Yeah, I think one thing that has marked my career over the years is I never picked the easy challenge. I want the biggest tests and the biggest challenges, and what's the point really? I have a chance to become a 2-weight undisputed champion Saturday evening in front of my home crowd. This is absolutely so special. I am expecting a tough fight, but I feel like I am ready for whatever comes my way on Saturday evening.
Sold out crowd, huge support from the country. Of course, Conor McGregor as well, flying in as well. So much support from different people, and shout out, of course, to Proper 12 and Irish Stout and all these other brands that I know are backing you as well, but amazing support.
Yeah, it's amazing to get the support of Conor and Tidal and yourself, Eddie, the whole matchroom crew and the whole nation, obviously. I don't think there's an athlete more supported than me and my whole nation. It's so special. I think ever since my amateur days, people have backed me from this country, and yeah, we have a chance to bring big time boxing back to Ireland where it belongs, and I'm very, very excited about it.
And finally, we talked about Chantelle being off the leash. We know you have instructions. We know sometimes that goes out the window, but in that noise, in that moment on Saturday night, I guess it's a silly question. Whatever it takes to create more history and to take home all 10 of these belts on Saturday.
Absolutely, whatever it takes, and I have a chance to make history again Saturday evening, and nobody's going to take that away from me.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Chantelle. I'm inspired. I hope you are as well. In a pretty difficult business sometimes, this is a cleansing experience where we see what real sport is all about. Chasing greatness, chasing legacy, inspiring the next generation. And Katie, of course, and Chantelle and all these fighters deserve so much praise for changing the game. for making sure that young fighters see their heroes create chances, create opportunities, and realise their own dreams. So on Saturday night at the sold-out 3 Arena, live on DAZn, not pay-per-view, I was going to say, wow, Alfie. I mean, it should be, to be honest with you. I can't believe they're not charging you for that, but congratulations, it's part of your subscription. You will see a night you will not forget. A fantastic undercard that we saw earlier on. Paddy Donovan against Samo Mason. Maisie Rose Courtney against Kate Radomska. Jay McFarlane against Thomas Carty. Kevin Ajarko against Grant Dennis. Cecilia Brackhouse against Terry Harper. JJ Metcalf as well against Dennis Hogan in a war. Gary Cully, who I see as the future star, future world champion, against Jose Felix. And of course, an epic battle between 2 undisputed, unbeaten fighters in Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron. I promise you, wherever you are in the world, tune in. And if you're one of the lucky ones, lucky enough to be in the 3 Arena on Saturday night, congratulations, because you are about to witness one of the greatest atmospheres you've ever seen in the history of boxing. You will leave there with a smile on your face. Enjoy the night, enjoy these tremendous fighters, and good luck to all fighters on Saturday night. Thank you.